Hey everyone! Today I have the perfect palette tag. I'm really excited to do this tag. I feel like this tag is like what got me into eyeshadow palettes, and I really like it. And it's one of those things where I remember looking at beauty gurus after beauty guru doing this video, and I like searched them all and I loved it. And this is like old school YouTube, which I want to try to bring back a little bit on this channel with tag videos and not just, like Makeup with Lisa I mentioned it. We both like had the same thought, and like neither one of us told each other it, and I don't think she saw my channel at the time. I'll just take these glasses off now, sorry. I don't think that she had seen my channel at the time, and I don't know if I had posted the video where I said, I miss like tag videos yet or not, but yeah, I was really excited that she's thinking the same thing that I'm thinking. So obviously I'm tagging her in this video, and I'll tag some other people too. Okay, so first off, best packaging. This is my honorable mention. It's the Too Faced Clover palette. This is adorable. It's so cute, and like, I'll show you the colors on the inside because I feel like I should. I like the palette a lot too on its own. I think I like this more than the chocolate bars, but what we're talking about is the packaging. There's a narwhal on it, there are donuts, there's a little bunny over there, there's a panda bear, a little kitty cat with a thing, there's Clover and Clover with glasses over there, and some ice cream and candy and all this cute stuff, and it just makes me so happy to look at. And look, he's got Yas on his butt. Like, I think I've talked about this, like, cover a bunch of times, and I just think it's absolutely adorable. So I would 100%, like, this isn't my favorite packaging, but I do really love it. It makes me so happy to look at it and to use it, and I like it a lot. But the absolute winner for best packaging is obviously Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, this palette from Besame. Besame killed it with the packaging on this collection, and pretty much everything that they do. It's so pretty. I want to get the mirror too. And I kind of want to get some other things from the collection. I have lunch money from Box Lunch, which is like their rewards program thing, so I might pick up more stuff. And these are the shadows. It's so fancy looking. I have it on my desk displayed. I have the Too Faced Clover palette displayed too because I think it's so cute. But yeah, this is definitely like the cutest packaging, and it has like charts and stuff too, so it's also kind of helpful, like the color charts and like, all these things, and it has the story about how they worked with Disney and the ink and paint department, so it's exciting. I'm a Disney fan, so I get excited to know that they like worked so hard on this together, but yeah. So next up we have Best Color Payoff, and I think the winner for this is the Blushing Berries from Dose of Colors. These are matte shadows. I've only used this once, but like, these are like what you see is what you get. Very pigmented. They're not the easiest to blend. Like, I had trouble blending it when I did a look with this. Like I said, I've only used it once, and I would use it again. Like, I'm gonna use it again. I'm not returning it or anything, but I really liked the color payoff of this. It's, like I said, what you see is what you get. Dose of colors. There's definitely a dose of colors here, so I like that a lot. Another one that I think has great color payoff that I kind of picked up because I thought I was going to use it for like a different part of this thing, but the ColourPop, what's this called? It's called the Yes Please palette, not the Cute AF palette. But like these colors, it pretty much is like a what you see is what you get type thing. This red color is like really nice. Try to show it on here. And then like this gold. I need to use this palette more because it's so pretty, and it really is like it's great like that. But yeah, this is a good one. Alright, next up is for the best color payoff, the Huda Beauty Warm Brown Obsessions palette. I really love all of the Huda Beauty palettes that I've tried. I have 4. I have 3 of the Obsessions palettes and the Desert Dusk palette. But this one, I think, does have the best color payoff out of all of them. Maybe the mauve one does also, but like these have a lot of matte shadows, and they're all very pigmented, and they look like that on your eyes, and it's just really nice. This shimmer shade in the middle is so pretty, and it's kind of hard to find like a nice matte palette that is like a like a very colorful, what you see is what you get, as I keep saying, type palette, and this and the Dose of Color ones are really good for that. So I would highly recommend those, and this ColourPop one's good for that. These are just good. So those are my best color payoff. Most versatile, again, I have two winners because, yeah, that's how Shannon does things. The Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. This is just like a super, super pretty palette. Something fell out of, oh, I had lunch money in there from Box Lunch, like I just mentioned. But like, as you can see, you can get like a ton of looks with this palette. There are lots of like warm neutrals, cool neutrals. It's a little bit of everything, and you can come up with a lot of good looks with this palette. I've done a lot of really neutral looks. You could do some crazier looks with the purples and stuff, but it's very versatile and really good. Another one that I used today that I'm starting to think, like, the more and more I use this, the more I think that, like, this is so versatile for what it is. I wouldn't have thought that, like, a smoky palette would be so versatile, but the Huda Beauty Smoky Obsessions palette, like, you can get, like, a nice, neutral, like, everyday type look with this palette, but you can also get, like, a really nice smoky look. I used it today. I used this silver color, and this is, like, one of the most pigmented colors that I have. This is, like, a really nice color payoff color. I don't know if you can see. I'm coming up with a video soon where I'm going to do a bunch of looks with this palette. This is, I think, the second look in that video, so, you know, just if you want to see. But yeah, I was so impressed with this one silver color here, and I really like this palette. I really think it's versatile. Even though, like, you don't think of a smoky palette as being the most versatile, this is definitely one that you could get more looks than just a smoky look with. Okay, the next question is best for traveling. I think this Smashbox Decked In Drawn Out Blush palette and the Ulta Melissa Michelle palette. These are both very good for traveling. They're very bulky, but these are good because you have everything you need, like, in one palette. Like, there's blush in this one. There's there's contour, and that's like a good powder. Like, there's a contour, a bronzer, and a powder that's supposed to be a highlight. I would use it more as like an under eye powder or something. And then these shades, which are very easy to come up with looks for. I haven't used this a ton, but, like, I love the blushes. They're beautiful, and I really like this palette. Another one is the Ulta Melissa Michelle. Again, you got a blush, you got a highlight. It came with the lipstick in here. You could put another lipstick that fits in there if you wanted, but that lipstick that it came with is good too. There's a lot of, like, nice colors, but, like, again, a lot of times with travel palettes, like, you don't want to get overwhelmed with a lot of colors. Like, if I was going away for a long time, I might want to bring the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, just because that's so versatile and all the colors are really good in there. So, you know, if you're traveling for a long time, that would be good. If it's just a weekend, I would say maybe one of the Huda Beauty Obsessions palettes, because these are tiny. But if you just want something, like, all-in-one, I always think these are great for travel, where it comes with the blush and highlights or contours or whatever. I traveled with this, even though I didn't use it as my eye look for a bachelorette party recently, and I really liked this. So those are just kind of the idea of what I want for a palette, for, like, a travel palette. I think these are limited edition products that aren't around anymore. You might be able to find this at CCOs soon. This might pop in and out of Ulta sometimes, but yeah, just if you find, like, an all-in-one palette that has face products and eye products, I think that those are always good for travel. Okay, so the next one is Biggest Regret, and I actually can't find mine anywhere. I don't know if I decluttered it or not. I don't think I did, but it is the M Cosmetics, I think it's called the New Year's Eve palette from M Cosmetics. It's not the best palette. It's probably the worst palette that I have. I want to, like, do a look with it someday on this channel, just to do it, just to, you know, because it wasn't terrible. Like, it's usable, but it's probably the worst palette that I have. It was before M Cosmetics was actually owned by Michelle Phan. I don't know if she owns it now because I think she sold Ipsy, so I'm not totally sure what's happening with the new M Cosmetics. I don't think she has palettes there yet. But this was, I think L'Oreal owned M Cosmetics, and, you know, I think L'Oreal's a great company, but I don't know, the stuff that they had out with M Cosmetics when it was owned by L'Oreal wasn't the best reviewed stuff out there. But yeah, they seem like such fun palettes that like seemed worth it, but then they kind of like got bad reviews, and I don't really know what happened there. But that palette itself wasn't the best, wasn't the worst, but it might be one of the worst ones that I own. So I don't want to give it like a totally negative like thumbs down review because I feel like I should try it again, and I didn't dislike it like the first few times I tried it. It was just like after a while I was like, okay, I'm done with this. This is like I have better things in my collection from every brand that I have in my collection pretty much. So that's my only experience with M, so I'm not saying anything negative about it necessarily, just that palette is not my favorite. Best color names, I think that is definitely the Tartelette in Bloom palette. It has very, like, positive, like, names like Charmer, Jet Setter, Rocker, Smoke Show, Flower Child, Smarty Pants, Firecracker, Activist, Funny Girl, Sweetheart, Rebel, Leader, and I appreciate that they did a palette like this with names like this. The Tartelette palettes, they're, like, supposed to be, like, inspired by different women, and I think that that's really nice that, like, they have these kind of names that are, like, good names for women. You know, a lot of shadow names, like, are bad and, like, are, like, made for, like, I don't know, they're, like, too, like, overly sexual, and they have, like, a lot of names that are, like, you know, I don't know, like, Urban Decay has a lot of, like, terrible names, and that's kind of, like, their thing. Like, Urban Decay is supposed to be, like, you know, like, Urban Decay, like, it's decaying, it's bad, and it's supposed to be, like, kind of like an ugly, pretty type thing, but, like, a lot of them, they have, like, a lot of drug references in their shadow names, and, you know, it's not always the best thing that you want to see. They have, like, a brown color called Backdoor. I don't think I need to, like, explain that any further. They have a white color called Bump. Those are definitely the worst shadow names, if you were to ask me. But, like, when you have, like, a palette with, like, nice, inspiring names, that kind of makes you feel better about your day. Like, if you're putting, like, the shade Leader, right? They have a shade called Leader in here. Yeah, if you're putting the shade Leader on your lids, you're like, yeah, I am a leader. I am, you know, I am a sweetheart. I am a funny girl. I am, like, all these things. And it's just, like, they have, like, a lot of names that are inspiring to women, and I always prefer those types of names to, you know, more derogatory or, like, bad things. I don't want to say, like, bad things, but, like, come on, there's enough sexism as it is in the world. Time's up on that. So that's all I'm gonna say. Least used. This natural contour kit thing from Pixie. This isn't a bad palette. I've used it once or twice, I think I've used it once. I reach for the contour shades more than, like, these shades. I just, like, it's kind of a boring palette. I got it because it was on clearance at Target, and that's always dangerous when you just buy things because they're on clearance. I just kind of wanted to do a blog post about, like, me getting Target clearance things, and that was a stupid idea. So I kind of regret buying this palette too, but yeah, it's just most used. I think a couple of palettes are my most used. This one, when I was first starting out with makeup, this is the Lorac Pro 2 palette. I got this palette, and I was commuting to college then for a couple classes, and I like doing my makeup, like, early in the morning, and this was just so easy to use. It was so easy to blend. And this is what got me into makeup. They're, like, you can kind of see there are, like, dips in a lot of these shadows. I could pan this, but I don't really like panning things. I love this. I should use it more because I kind of do want to get a new one just because I feel like the formula has changed a little bit on this, and I still love this. So, yeah. I noticed that these have been going on sale, and I'm afraid that they're going to sell out, and, I feel like I have an emotional attachment to this that I don't want to, like, not have it in my collection, but this is a good palette. This is what got me into makeup, and I like it a lot. Alright, so my two most loved palettes are the Master palette by Mario and the Modern Renaissance palette. This palette is just so good. I'm like so happy that I got this because like I feel like these shades, like it's nothing like super special about these shades. I was gonna pass on it, but the formula is just so nice and it's just very easy to use and come up with looks with. And I really like this a lot. And the Modern Renaissance palette is kind of the same deal. It's just, these shades are so pretty. It's so easy to use. It's so easy to come up with looks with this palette. And I think the quality is like amazing with this. I love these Anastasia palettes. I have to say, I have another one from them, the Self-Made palette, and I have the Subculture palette also. I need to try the Subculture palette a little bit more. I don't think I'm gonna review that just because it's been reviewed so much on YouTube, and I got it as a gift, so I don't really want to review it because I did get it as a gift. But yeah, I still like the Subculture palette a lot, and I liked the Self-Made palette a lot, but these two are the best. So yeah, I love these. And my Desert Island palette. So this one somebody at in a makeup group asked one time, what palette, like if you could have like one palette you would never hit pan on, it would just keep magically refilling when you hit pan, what would it be? And that's my Desert Island palette pick, and it is this Lorac Mega Pro 3. This, like, it's not my favorite palette. I do think I like these Modern Renaissance and Master by Mario palette more, but I think I could do, like, everything with this palette. Like, if I only had this palette, this would be great. It would be, like, a nice quick look because, like I said, the Lorac shadows I did use to kind of learn how to do makeup because you can use them quite quickly. And they're so pigmented, they're so nice and just easy to use, and I really love this palette a lot. So this would be my Desert Island pick of all of these palettes. I really like it. I think, you know, it's a very neutral palette, so it's not very versatile, but there's like cool shades, there's warm shades, it's so good. There's all these mattes, all these shimmers. You could do an all matte look, you could do an all shimmer look if you were that daring. It's just really good, and I love this a lot. I would highly, well, I don't know if you can still get it, so I can't say I would highly recommend you getting it. But this is definitely my Desert Island pick. Alright, that does it for everything. So I hope you guys like this tag. I'm going to do more tag videos, so I hope you guys like them, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!